Tangram Hill. So the contested area east of Crossbell. Is this the Kavadian border?
Yes, the Defense Force soldiers should have difficulty finding us here. This would be a good opportunity to rest.
Thanks, Zeit. You really saved me back there. Huh? What is that?
A barrier of some sort that appeared around Crossbell City. It would seem that only those that are permitted may freely enter and exit. And those that are not cannot pass through it at all. Be they living creatures or machines.
You've got to be kidding.
As you saw when you escaped, pleroma grass has begun to bloom all throughout the state of Crossbell. It would be accurate to think of it as a sign that the land itself has become one with a newly born Septarian.
Zeit, just what is pleroma grass? I've heard that it shares some sort of connection with the Septian veins underground.
It was once the proverbial eyes of the former Septarian of Mirage. As it bloomed, demiurgos could observe and understand the surface world. It is also capable of distorting the surrounding space and spiritual links to the Septarian. That is the most probable cause of the cryptid's sudden emergence. Such beings should not exist in this plane by nature.
I think I understand. Those disgusting rituals the DG cult was conducting. They were all about taking advantage of a pleroma grass's property to perfect gnosis, right?
Yes, their goal was to accumulate the knowledge and personalities of the victims who fell to the drug's influence. Said corpus of data would subsequently be transferred into the girl slumbering in the cradle of a Sandford. The vast amount of information would then self-organize to nurse forth the high-minded dignity they sought to recreate. Then, after 500 years, the core of the Septarian awoke. That is the extent of my knowledge. The situation in which you find yourself is the will of a cult puppet masters meticulously crafted over the course of centuries. On that topic, the choices presented to you now are rather limited. Would you not prefer to flee to foreign soil until the storm has subsided?
I understand why you'd ask. My uncle's home is in Calvert, so it's too bad I'd have somewhere to lay low if I had to. But no, that's not an option. There's work to be done here. I have answers to find and a case to crack.
Do you know?
Solving this crisis and uncovering the truth will be more than just a one-man job too. Ellie, Theo, Randy, and not just them, everyone. I need all of their strength. So you see, I can't run. I can't hide. I have to go back and face it all. Sorry to do this after you brought me all the way here, but I still have a duty to fulfill.
What truth are you hoping to ascertain?
Isn't it obvious? I don't care about her powers or where she came from. What I want to know is what Kia wants more than anything else in the world. And I need to hear it straight from her heart. And chances are, I'll never be able to find that out unless I bring her home. There's also the matter of what happened to the old Septarian. How can we expect Kia to shoulder the burden Demiurgos couldn't? Kia's like family to me. I could never just sit by and let her suffer that fate. So I'm going to take her back, even if that means kicking the president and Arias off their pedestals. Good to see a little stint in the clink hasn't changed Crossbell's father of a year. Huh? Wazi? What are you doing here? Wait, Abbas? And recent Kevin too? Good to see you again, Bannings. Indeed, it's been too long. Hey, how have you been hanging these past 4 months? Thanks for remembering me, by the way. Hard to forget the names and faces of the Septian Church's Gralsritter. Wait, Wazi, does that mean you're... Wazi Hemisphere, the Sapphire Testament. Otherwise known as the 9th Dominion of the Gralsritter of the Septian Church. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Incidentally, I'm a knight of the Gralsritter. I work in the service of Wazi. You gotta be kidding me. Have you two really been stringing me along all this time? Oh, wait a second. When we first met Mies, neither of you said even a word about any of this. My apologies, I pretended not to know who he was. Father Wazi's undercover mission is regarded with the utmost secrecy. Her arrival here completely fooled that old grump elder. He had no idea who the real mole was. I really owe her one for that. Happy to be of service. I mean, yeah, for once we standing out like the sore thumb she is. Worked out. Anyone could have seen through her sister act. I bet the Archbishop was beside himself when you walked through the door. I have no idea what you're talking about. And besides, you're hardly in any position to preach to me about how to successfully go undercover knowing your track record. To be fair, none of them look anything like your average clergy people. Okay, that's enough catching up for now. You see, the actual reason we're here is because he called us. You mean Zeit? Yes, that is correct. I had a hunch your resolve would remain firm, so I thought it prudent to recruit collaborators on your behalf. Oh. Now that you know I've been infiltrating Crossbell, you can probably fill in the blanks. But the Gralsritter has seen the situation coming for a while now, to a certain degree at least. Still, there are a lot of gaps to bridge. We didn't know the Croix family was behind the conspiracy for one, or Kia's true identity. Zeit recently brought us up to speed on the whole story, like I'm sure he did with you. That being said, what we are contending with here is an artificially reconstructed Septarian of Mirage. The situation is far beyond the scope of a Gralsritter's typical duty of artifact retrieval. As such, a circumstance would normally make this out of our jurisdiction. But on the other hand, we couldn't just ignore the society's involvement in this little brouhaha. That's where you come in, Mr. Detective. You're our in for getting our hands dirty. That's about the size of it. I think we'll be allowed to intervene if it's under the guise of collaborating with you. So Lloyd, what do you say? There's just one thing I need to confirm first. Kia, what does the church plan to do with her? Right for the jugular. That one's a toughie. Yes, but being dishonest will get us nowhere with him. I agree. He deserves to know the truth. Then that's what we'll give him. The Septarian of Zero is far more dangerous than the Septarian of Space the Oriole ever was. That much is for certain, even if we still haven't grasped the full breadth of her power yet. You've been locked away for weeks. Are you aware of all of what's been happening around the continent? Not really. All I heard is that civil wars broken out in the Empire. Boy, I said, it all got put on a fast track after that armored division they tried to send across the border got snuffed out. And you know how the Golden Stallion rolls. But every time they tried to push back, they got whopped all over again by those Aeons. Right when things were going to Gehenna and the handbasket over there, the Noble Alliance troops scuttled out and occupied Heimdall. It was then that the Blood and Iron Chancellor was shot. No one's seen him since. Now that the Empire is ablaze in the flames of war, few expect it to be doused anytime soon. Meanwhile, the Republic has been in an economic crisis as a result of Crossbit's actions. On top of that, terrorist activity has been in full swing to the point that the President has formally declared a state of emergency. When it rains, it pours. You don't even know the half of it. It's not like things are coming up roses in other countries either. Questionable activity is beginning to surface in regions Erebonia and Calvert have traditionally had under their thumbs. Although while President Croix has been pressuring heads of state throughout the continent to have them bend the knee to cross-bill with this. And naturally he has the power of a Septarian to coerce them with. Exactly. It had the ability to repel the Imperial Army, one of the most powerful military forces in all of Lemuria. And that's just with the free archaism the society supplied. What do you think would happen if they were mass-produced, souped up by the Septarian of Zero and deployed continent-wide? Kia would never agree to that, not when it means harming innocent people. In all technicality, it does not seem that the archaism are controlled by the Septarian directly. More likely the Septarian's power has granted them the ability to move autonomously as her guardians. Much like that Ren girl's archaism, Pata Mata. No way. I'm inclined to agree on that point also. I seriously doubt that little girls in the driver's seat there. That makes it all the easier for those Aeons to be abused by just about anyone with a non-Verizor. Whether or not Kia is consciously in control is beside the point. A power like that is still much too dangerous to ignore. Okay, now I know where the church stands. But despite your stake in this, I'd still like to ask for your cooperation. Really? I thought you were going to turn us down for sure. I'm just being realistic. I know this isn't something I can do by myself. Time isn't on my side either. The longer this drags on, the more Kia will be made to suffer. But let me make one thing perfectly clear. If you lay even one hand on Kia, I'll stop you, even if it means fighting to my dying breath. And I'm not the only one. Ellie, Tia, Wendy, they would do the same thing. They never let you take her. Call it a fallacy, call it illogical, I don't care. We are her family and we won't let you hurt her. Damn, I knew you were a sharp guy, but I didn't know you had that kind of fire in you. I think I'm starting to get why you like him so much, Vazi. That's a light way to put it. That man stole my heart. I'm serious, Vazi, if you... I know. As a Dominion of a Gralsritter, I swear on Idios' name. You will not be excluded from how we choose to deal with her. Your opinions and input will be heard. I know that's not ideal, but this is the best I can do given our position. Sounds good to you? Yeah, it's enough for now. Then we have a deal. Okay, time to get to work. Let's move out, gang. What's that?
Ah, that sound. It harkens me back to times past. The heavenly chariot, I take it.
Airships? Technical crafts reserved for use by the Gralsritter. We call them Macabre. Each is equipped with a number of stealth functions, including but not limited to optical camouflage. That'll be just what we need to stay discreet while traveling through cross-Berlin airspace. Well, Lord, ready to go? Yeah, let's do this. Kia, everyone, wait for me, I'm coming. Prison break. Special Ops airships of the Septian Church's Gralsritter, Macabre. Macabre Unit 5. And Macabre Unit 9. And Zeit took on a smaller form. We'll take care of the ions for our part, just as planned. You guys be careful out there. Same to you, Heretic Hunter. Pardon me. Thousand-Hand Guardian. It may not be your title anymore, but it doesn't mean I can't live up to it every now and then. Guess not. I gather that you derived your new title from the legendary Thousand Arms herself, Rufina Argent. It's very fitting, Father Kevin. Thanks. Sounds like a long story. Hey Lloyd, it's going about to get tough, so hang in there, okay? Crosswell being in the spot it is, I wouldn't count on any outside help swooping in to save a day. If I have one piece of advice, it's this. Don't forget the bonds you made along the way. You'll need them. The bonds I made? Understood, I keep that in mind. May Aegis watch over you, Lloyd. And give Ellie my regards when you come to her aid. Right, I'll make sure I do. What's going on? I've activated the optical camouflage. Keep in mind the effect itself is not infallible. Our top speed has been reduced as a drawback. In short, if we try to fly into restricted airspace at this speed, the ion geared toward mobility would catch us in no time. You wouldn't stand a chance in direct confrontation. That's why we're going to have Macabre Unit 5 play decoy. So what you're saying is they give us the opening we need to infiltrate. Huh. Show us what the Grail's protectors can do then. Gordia's class tactical arcade is in prototype Ion type Beta. Finale, the path we chose. Now it says finale, but this is a very long finale. This is not like other chapters. We managed to slip through, but from the looks of it, the land of Crossbear is already integrated with a Septarian. If we're not careful, the Ions will come after us again. So there's a limit to how much we can rely on this airship. Correct. Were we to land, the size of a craft would readily betray our presence to the network of Pleroma grass. Exactly. So getting us on the ground is going to be a hassle. To combat that, I plan to use a blind spot outside the Septian Main's reaches. A blind spot? By nature, the Septian Main's influence is large enough to span the breadth of the land. However, even among the streams of Septian Veins, there yet exist small regions free of their purview. I think I get it. So if we land in one of those gaps, we won't be noticed. That's about the size of it. As it so happens, the point we're at now is exactly the kind of spot we've been looking for. The sandbar on Ursula Road is the same area where the cryptid appeared. But how did you figure out that this was a safe zone so quickly? Abbas and I already scouted it out before it, obviously. Once things in Crossbear went south, we set up a little parlor trick and made our escape. So that's where you were. Very thorough of you. To be fair, this is the only place like it we know of so far. In the future we'll have to find other blind spots where we can land. Now then, what's the plan? There's no way for us to get into the city with that barrier around it. I know. Still, I think it would be best to get our feet on the ground now. I want to get a feel for what's going on down there with my own eyes. Every little bit counts. I can also use this opportunity to check on the situation at St. Ursula Hospital. Fair enough. Then descend we shall. What troubles you? I know it's a little late to ask, but why exactly are you going so out of your way to help us, Zeit? There's a little something I heard about the dragon that appeared during the Little incident. Basically, you holy beasts aren't allowed to interfere with the fates of Septarians, right? Just so. This is a provision of a covenant we have made. However, as the Septarian of Mirage has long since been lost, my duty has already come to an end. With those shackles removed, I'm permitted to act more freely. Lending a modicum of help to the children of man should be within my bounds. So that's how it is. Is that why you helped us during the Warhound case back then? You assume correctly. I cannot give you my indefinite support, but I can grant you my aid for the time being. You may simply consider this a part of my role as police dog, if that so pleases you. Sure, I'm glad to have you on board. That's right, the three of us are going to have to make do on our own for now. When you're ready to disembark, just let Abbas know. He'll take us down. The Merkaba also offers a few facilities at your disposal. Feel free to bother the crew for new equipment or supplies, or if you want to use the orbital factory. Got it, thanks. Vazi and Zeit have joined the party. Vazi learned the S-Craft Akashic Arm. Yes. Zeit has temporarily joined the party. As he does not use an Enigma 2, you cannot customize his quartz. He does, however, have access to high-level arts. Be aware that Zeit also does not possess an S-craft. Additionally, you will only be able to control LoH while aboard the Merkaba. All other members will be on standby within the ship. You will, however, still be able to manage all members' equipment in the camp menu and browse on their behalf at the shop and factory. Defense plus something? Who knows? And you can't even choose Zeit here. Just noticing that Crow is an overall pretty weak Master Quartz. Too low level. Nice to meet you. My name is Ventos, and I'm a squire with a church. I'm in charge of managing the ship's equipment. We have plenty of gear and accessories in stock, so let me know if you need anything before starting an operation. They only have you handling all that? Sounds like you guys are pretty strapped for personnel. To be fair, we were out of action for the longest time until Kawabasi suddenly called on us. It was all we could do to pull together a skeleton crew on such short notice. Well, it was a pretty urgent situation. It's been 2 years since we all worked together. I really missed bossing all of you around. Right, I should get to work. Working for Vazi must be rough. I bet he'd have a lot to talk about with the Testaments. And yes, Vazi has always had us squires wrapped around his little finger. It's impressive that others managed to keep him in check while we are away. Sure, equip. Anything special? Not really. It's a good thing we found that gap between the Septian main's influence on Ursula before things went downhill. But from now on we have to manually detect other blind spots around the state if we want to land elsewhere. The Merkaba is short-handed as it is, so we're not exactly in an enviable position. That much is clear. All we can do is take this one step at a time. Finding our comrades, bring Kia back, even in most optimistic circumstances, I know it's not going to be easy. That it won't. So for now, we'll just have to do things the hard way. On a lighter note, the Merkaba's onboard facilities are yours to use as you see fit, so make yourself at home. We have weapons, armor, and accessories available. There's also an orbital factory, not to mention a place to sleep upstairs. Feel free to get acquainted with the crew while you check everything out. Okay. You're the leader of the special support section, right? My name is Juno. I'm in charge of the engine room aboard the Merkaba Unit 9. I also handle synthesizing quartz and tuning your battle orbments here at our orbital factory. Really? They train squires to do that? I've always been good with my hands, as it so happens. I enjoy this kind of work. Now that our boss has shown their cards, the church can't overlook their involvement. I hope we can work together to resolve this, Detective Bannings. Of course, we're counting on you. upstairs. Can I go out? Yep. So we're headed to St. Ursula Hospital, are we? Oh. Zeit? You needn't mind me. I was merely reminiscing. Speaking of which, we have been allies for many moons now. And in spite of that, I believe this will be the first time we travel the highway together. You're right. Funny how that works out, huh? Still, that's the first time for everything. We'll be counting on you down that side. Indeed, I look forward to observing your much-vaunted leadership abilities as well. Be aware that I'm unable to utilize those orbments, as you call them, during battle. However, as a divine wolf, I can perform a number of skills and crafts that will prove useful to you, just as they have in the past. But as far as leadership goes, I will once again be deferring to you, Lloyd. Is the restroom? Or the sleep room? Abbas? Well, have you figured out our next course of action? Yeah, we've decided that we're going to land here for now. I have to say though, you and Vasi being in the Gralsritter was a heck of a surprise. It was for the sake of deceiving Archbishop Heralda. He is a detractor of ours due to an intercongregational conflict. Simply put, the thought process was that no one would suspect a Dominion poses the head of a street gang. And I guess it worked. Though, come to think of it, you guys did name your group the Testaments. Not to mention all the crusades you went on. I suppose we did. I thought we would be less conspicuous if we were intentionally a crude imitation. I can't deny that. You doubled down so hard on your shtick, no one would have ever guessed it was authentic. Anyway, are we good to land whenever? Yes, the spot we were aiming for has already been pinpointed. We only say the word. Land. Understood. Confirm your destination. Yeah, we can't land anywhere else. I take it the others are going to keep monitoring the situation from above? That's the plan. They're more likely to be discovered if they stay on ground level. Now then. In the name of she who dwells above, do I hold this consecrated septium. Oh, just like what Sister Marble did. I see. You're employing the Gral's thaumaturgy for this. Earth's ember glow, space's golden glow. By your congruent natures, form a newest sanctuary to protect this chariot from ever-watchful eyes. What is this? A warp circle capable of stabilizing the gap within the septium veins' influence. It's also invisible to anyone who hasn't been aboard the Macabre. Impressive, no? In any case, it should last us for the time being. I'm speechless. I guess it's finally dawning on me that you really are one of the church's knights. After working with you for so long, it's been tough to actually picture you that way. I'm still the cool, calm, and collected playboy we've always known, Lloyd. But never mind that. What's our next move? Shall we try heading to St. Ursula? Yeah, I'd like to confirm the situation there while we're in the area. It also wouldn't hurt to at least scout out the path toward Crossbear City to see what it's like. I'm fine with that as well. However, be aware that cryptids have begun to appear on the highways due to the pleroma grass. It would be wise to tread carefully. Duly noted. Then let's be off. Macabre. Examining warp circles will turn you to the Macabre. Traversing the state. Speak to others and select a destination on the map to travel to that warp circle. The number of available warp circles will increase throughout the story. Bus is out of order. And Zeit has all the super-powered rats here. But only them, nothing cheap. But honestly, he has the EP to cast them. Gralsritter, Alpha Primate that boasts mighty strength, crushes foes with unstoppable charge. Vasilon's 7th shot. Large monsters prowling around. Let's do that. Okay. New. Where is it? Battle scope. Orc Virage. Ancient dark dragon that exhales a devilish breath. Revived by the DG cult. Blind. Right. Oh, come on. Right, am I still blind? Obtained emerald gem. Yeah, counts as an evade quartz. EP cut 2. We made it all the way to the barrier. Seeing it up close like this makes me sick. You can tell from a macabre that it's covering all of Crossbow City like a dome. But some things can still pass through. Russian tracks, emergency vehicles, and the Defense Force, and Red Constellation, to name a few. Who exactly receives the authorization to do so is likely decided by none other than the President. Yes, and those without permission will find themselves unable to breach their way in by any physical means. Until the barrier itself has been dealt with, attempting to enter the city would prove a futile use of our time. I know. Keep waiting for me, Kia. I'm coming. Okay, and one other thing I wanted to look at. Can I go in this direction? Wait, look there! So Boris is guarding this place, are they? That girl in armor keeping watch over the tower is one of the Steel Maiden's subordinates. And look at the archaism she has with her. I've never seen any like those before. The Society used those models during the Liberal incident. They were designed for hand-to-hand combat efficiency. I believe they're called Vanguard units? Sounds like more trouble than they're worth. Pulling out may be our best option for now. I have to say, Vovazi, you seem to know a lot when it comes to the Society. For observation, I guess you could say I'm somewhat familiar with them. The Church's Knights of the Society are said to have confronted each other countless times under the veil of history's shadows. Know thine enemy, the old adage holds true, even among two forces as powerful as them. Well, the thing is, circumstances are always shifting between the church and our boss. Frankly, it's a pretty vicious rat race. Whoops, there you go, airing out dirty laundry. Good thing Abbas isn't here to chew me out. I said it before and I said it again. I don't know how he puts up with you. Anyway, let's get our distance from this place for the time being. Good, but we will come back, otherwise this place wouldn't be guarded, right? And I think with that I end this episode, and next time we go in the direction of St. Ursula, I think.